A good afternoon, Saints, and happy Thursday to you. I'm going to talk about Greenleaf, Season 3, Episode 6. This is really a well-written series, I got to say. So far, they're maintaining pretty good. I was disappointed in Empire because I used to be so excited about Empire, and I don't know what it is. I guess I'm not the great writer that I think I am in my mind, because I don't know the answer for that show. This one seems to be holding the momentum. Anyway, so it starts off with May is presenting Bishop with this revised announcement of hers. They've agreed to announce to the church that they're divorcing, right? He looks at it and he says, "Where is the part about your exit?" What exit? Anyway, so I think she's already told him about his her plans to stay at the church and him to leave. Now, this is the part I don't understand. This man has built this church by being the preacher. This is the bishop. This is one who's not only a pastor, but a bishop, right? So we have to assume that he can preach. That's why the people are coming there. This is a personality-driven ministry, right? How is she just going to take over to being the minister, the pastor? We have no evidence that she can even preach. Can she bring a word weekly or twice a week for, years? I have seen no evidence of that. I know she has little Lady May days and all those kind of things, but I don't know how you're going to go from having a charismatic preacher, a man who is a bishop, how he going to leave his church and this woman supposed to carry it when we have no evidence of her being a preacher. Then that's just because the show doesn't show up everything, of course, and it's fiction. Maybe she does have that ability, but they need to show it to us. All right, next thing we see, Charity is knocked out. We already know that she's on these Oxycontin now, so I guess she's strung out on these Oxycontin. And she's taking sleeping pills now because the other thing wires her so much she had to take sleeping pills to sleep. So the baby is screaming, crying. And the maid says that she's been crying for a long time. She assumed that her mother would take care of her. She's right there in the room with her. And the mother doesn't even hear the baby crying. So Lady May makes her appearance. Lady May sees this girl is high on something. She says, "Are you loaded right now?" "I just take a little sleeping pill, Mama. Just something over the counter." Charity is in a conundrum. Now, I don't know how long we're gonna be tortured through this season of hers. But Miss Charity is not handling the pressures of life well at all. And Lady May sees this. She says, "Listen here, I want you to hear this. If you don't hear anything else, wake up enough to hear this. Don't make me side with Kevin." She's talking about her competency, which would involve the custody of this child. If Kevin can prove that she is incompetent, he'll get custody of the baby. So she got to wake her up. Come up out of it, Charity. So that's a threat. I thought that would really happen, but that's the threat. She's only in the beginning of her addiction, or if it's going to be, if they're going to be showing her as an addict. From what I can tell, she's only been higher a week or so. Anyway, Sophia is not feeling anything right now. She's in crisis. She's hurt. First, she goes off on this girl, Zora. Zora tries to come in her bedroom. They got some beautiful suites in that house. I mean, I got to say, they got some beautiful suites in that house. I never knew bedrooms like that. Each one of them has got suites, like Grace. Her daughter's got a bedroom on one side, double doors open up to the living area, and then it's another double doors, and you see Sophia's side of the room. They both have these huge suites, and this is only for them, for this family. So they live in these suites like they're apartments inside of the mansion. Just gorgeous. I just have to say that I'm really into the aesthetics. Okay. So first she throws Sarah out. She's not interested in her apologies. She tells her to go take her whole ass to hell. I kind of embellished that a little bit. She told her to go to hell. Right? So she's being aggressive in this, and she is really struggling about this news she's got that she'll never have children. Then she throws out, who she throw out next? Her boyfriend comes to see her. He wants to pray with her and all that. You know, they're all church people. She don't want to pray. She don't believe she'll be prayed to anything. And Sophia is blaming God. Now, people have crises. She is definitely in one. You look at all the bad things that happen in the world, you could come to that conclusion very easily. Particularly when it strikes home. Right? Something you don't understand, you blame it on God. Anyway, that's where she's at. Okay, here go. She's putting the screws in now. Miss Rochelle Crossing. That girl does a good job, unless she's being herself. That actress, she does a very good job in her role. Because she appears to me, when I look at her, to be the devil. That's what I see when I see Miss Rochelle Cross. You can see that mind working, you know. That's a demon in the earth. Anyway, she's trying to convince the bishop, and she showed up at the bishop. They didn't fell out and everything. And he done begged her to help him with this financial crisis. Now she shows up, oh, I got a plan. She wants him to buy this stuff called cryptocurrency. I think cryptocurrency has fallen or something in real life. Anyway, he's saying, oh, can we do that? She said, people are making millions overnight, she says. He said, can we do that? I think this is where her plan is starting to show its face, his ugly face. She gonna get that man to take all the money that he has and invest it in cryptocurrency, which ain't gonna be worth a quarter. And she gonna break him by putting him in financial crisis much, much deeper than he already is. He's already $3 million in debt to the IRS. And now she gonna have him investing in something he doesn't understand, cryptocurrency. I just feel it coming up. She's about to drop the hammer on his ass. Anyway, they don't smooch or nothing like that. I guess it's supposed to be strictly business now. They don't let the demon into their house. Okay. Next thing we see is Maxine. They're all excited about Maxine. I'm trying to think of who would Maxine be in real life. I guess like a Joyce Meyer type person. A black Joyce Meyer. Anyway, she's just, I don't see her as a Juanita Bynum type. Anyway, she's a big, successful woman. She's played by Patti LaBelle. She comes to town. Now, Bishop James, he smells a rat when this woman shows up, right? Everybody's all excited about her showing up. So she goes into conversation with Lady Mae, and Lady Mae tells her all about the situation with Charity. And then Maxine, she said, oh, I have an idea. I know someone that can help her. Lady Mae, a doctor? And I forget what she called her, some kind of spiritual healer or something. Anyway, I already know. When they did that, and I'm telling you, I'm not telling you the truth. I have not seen no kind of promotion for this thing. I haven't heard anything in the news or YouTube, nowhere else. I knew it was going to be Iyanla Vanzant. When she said that, I knew it was going to be Iyanla Vanzant. Apparently, Miss Vanzant is making the rounds on these television shows. She was just on the Braxton show. Was it last week? Anyway, so Lady Mae agrees to introducing this woman to Charity, right? Okay. Next thing they show us is this devil, Rochelle Cross. She's having a meeting with Grace and and her boyfriend Darius. Now, she couldn't be any more obvious. She is obviously flirting with Darius. She's not trying to hide it. She's up to something. But Grace is a smart woman as well. After she sees this woman sit there and flirt with her boyfriend right in her face, when she walks away, she says, she's playing me. There's no accidents with this woman. At least Grace is intelligent enough to know when she's dealing with the devil. she's on to her. She said there's no accident that she just happens to be attracted to my boyfriend and being all googly eyed. And they show a little bit of him after she walks away, kind of googly eyed looking at her. I said, oh my God. But Grace at least knows what's going on. This woman is up to something, and this is part of her plan. Right? Miss Zora. Now, Miss Zora, you're becoming unpopular by the week. But I understand that you're a teenager. You're a rebellious teenager. And I'm hoping that your life does not end up in pregnancy with this wild child who beats you up. I just have a feeling that this is going to end up, something tragic is going to happen with this girl to snap her out of whatever her personality is, involving this boy. Not only involving this boy, but just her general personality. She is a problem child. Anyway, so she then went down in the basement and found the maid's purse, pulls the maid's, goes into the maid's purse and pulls out her telephone and attempts to call this boy. The maid walks in on her. Is that my purse? Is that my phone? Of course, the maid's loyalty is to who writing the paycheck, so she tells Lady May. And then Lady May confronts this girl, Zora. She tells her, she snatches the house phone. I don't know why she didn't call her on the house phone. Maybe she didn't want to be sure that nobody else would know that she called him. Anyway, she takes that phone, gives her all the instructions about how she's going to stay in her room. She's restricted from this, restricted from that. She is on punishment. She lets her have it. And the girl, she's kind of, Zora sulks. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. In a few more scenes, she's going to call her mother and want to go home. But we'll get there. Okay. Okay, Ayana comes to the mansion. She meets Charity, right? First, Charity is very resistant. She's resistant to everybody at this point. She's hurt, she's hurting, and she's strung out. Ayana kind of breaks her down and tells her that, suggests that she knew that Kevin was gay. She said, I find it hard to believe that you live with this man and you had no suspicion, nothing. Which has always been a question I've had. How you live with a man for 10 years, you don't know he's gay. But I mean, she kind of buckles to maybe the possibility of this. She didn't know if there were telltale signs. But it comes down to he made her feel wanted. He made her feel needed. What he provided for her, I guess, was worth her taking a chance on a relationship with him. But yes, she knew it. She, let's see. He made her feel safe and wanted. Okay. I never understood how severely she turned on that boy, but it seems like, because gay men have relationships. I don't know, it seemed like he was in love with her. This stuff being fiction, they can take the story any kind of way. From what we saw when they broke up, he wanted to be with her still. He was desperate, although that was probably not the best thing for him. He seems to be living now his real life, his authentic life. He's with this boy, this attorney, who, what's his name, Adam? Adam or Alex? I forget. Adam or Alex? Anyway, he's went on, and she is still hurt. Then she got rejected by the other dude on the road. It's just all kind of too much for her. She's found solace in drugs. I can relate. Okay. We already talked about this thing that Zora is going through. She does not want to go to church anymore. She blames God for the situation with her health. I guess she's not aware that things could be a whole lot worse. It could have been cancer. But for the moment, she's blaming God. She's angry with God because she was one of the ones that was more interested in church than anybody else. Even when Grace first came back, I think the girl was more interested in God than Grace was. So she was teaching Sunday school. She's asked her mother to go and teach her class for her, and she is not stepping 1 foot back in that church. Bad place to be. Next thing we see is Miss Zora shows up in Lady May's bedroom. I guess it's the only place she can use. She's allowed to use the phone right in front of Lady May, right? Can't be trusted. That boy must have had some strong rap to get this girl this fucking caught up with his ass. Because I didn't even see him being nice to her, really. Anyway, she goes, uses the phone, and calls her mother. She says, Mama, I'm on the go. She acts all sweet and good. Maybe she's going to be another Rochelle Cross as she grows up. Because she has trickeration with hers. Oh, hi, Mom. Oh, I'm so happy to hear from you. Oh, I want to come home, Mom. I want to come home. And then, of course, her mother, she misses her baby. I mean, you know, they turn her into an angel. Because at first, what is her name now? I forget her name. Anyway, Jacob's wife and Zora's mother. First, she was kind of an evil woman in the first season. Now she's more of a meek type, just a mother. Misses her baby. So when the baby calls, she said, okay, I'll talk to your dad about it. Right? Zora, well, she's getting even with the grandmother. Because the grandmother's sitting right there when she calls her, right? And then, is it Clarissa? Clarissa. Let's call her Clarissa for the moment. Y'all got to forgive me. I'm 60 years old. Okay, the names come and go. We're going to call her Clarissa. She goes to Jacob and says, Jacob, oh, I talked to Zora. She wants to come home. She's weak about this child, but Jacob is not having it. The answer is no. She says, oh, I told her we would talk about it. Yeah, we just did. And the answer is no. Oh, I have veto power and I'm using it. No, absolutely not. So he is much more stern than as far as this girl goes, right? So she's not coming home. Dr. Van Zant meets with Charity and both parents. So Van Zant is a doctor. She's a doctor in this show, but she uses her real name. I don't know if I don't know. I might have to start watching this Ayana Van Zant thing. She's so in the news a lot. And I haven't really watched her show. I watched, I think, one episode. I'm going to check her out some more. But here she's Dr. Van Zant. She meets with Charity and both parents. Okay, so Ayana wants Charity to speak on her pain. Tell them how you feel. And Charity starts to do that. And almost immediately, Lady May gets defensive. You know how sometimes mothers are like that. It wasn't my fault. I did the best I could. Oh, I always loved you and all this kind of stuff. So anyway, bottom line, Lady May can't take it. She can't take hearing Charity's truth. She said, I'm about to go and announce to the church that I'm failing at the one thing I thought I'd never fail at, which is my marriage. There's too much going on, and I can't handle not one more thing. And Charity's like, oh, I told you she was the devil. This woman, Lady May, gets up and walks out, knowing this girl is in all this pain, taking drugs. She's finally able to sit down with this woman and tell her truth, and Lady May does not want to hear it. So we're starting to see that Lady May is the problem. It stems from the mother. They expect Charity to walk out, but Lady May is the one that can't take anything. She can't even take this girl saying that she was afraid in her youth and all through her life and through her marriage and even now. She's afraid. She asks her, why are you afraid? You got all this security in this great big old house. She's always been afraid. So as they start digging, I guess Ayana going to be coming back because they didn't fix it in one session. All right, next thing is Bishop tells Lady May, okay, you can have the house. Now, that would have been enough for me right there. I just told you how fabulous that house is. And if he gonna continue to pay the bills. Anyway, he said, you can have the house, and I'm going to take care of the tax situation. In other words, he's going to come up with the 2 or 3 million in the tax situation. I thought the government settles with you, and you pay less than you actually owe. Rochelle Cross got him thinking he's going to become an instant millionaire with this damn crypto money. Anyway, but the only stipulation is you have to leave the church. In other words, don't make a big stink. Go peacefully, woman. I am the bishop. I'm the one that preaches. I don't know where her mind is. Maybe she thinks that because Maxine has become successful as a pastor, as a preacher, she automatically can become one also. We haven't seen her preach, so, whatever. She says, just give me my Lady May Day. So she's planning on this great big old show of hers for her special day. I guess they have it every year or something. She's up to something, and he knows it. Okay. Next thing we see is they make their big announcement to the church. They say, we are getting divorced, and the whole church said, you hear this big sound, it just comes out automatically when something really stings. They announce to the church. She takes over the microphone and says she's planning this big Lady May Day featuring her friend, Maxine. And it's going to be called, let me see. This is important. Hold on. Okay. She's going to call it She Changes Everything. Now they're on stage, and Bishop is standing right beside her, right? And she's agreed that she's going to take the house and she's going to leave the church alone, right? But she says, you're planning the grand event. And it's going to be called She Changes Everything. And that's what the producers decided to put in the heading of this. She Changes Everything is the theme. May confronts Ayana. Next thing we see is Lady May confronts Ayana, saying, I didn't appreciate what you did. I do respect you as a woman, but I did not appreciate what you did. I felt ambushed. And I felt like you were blaming me for Charity's problems. Right? In my own house. And Ayana says, listen, when you're ready to talk, call me. In other words, she's already identified that Charity is just a symptom. She's not the problem. The problem is Lady May. And she's the one who needs her life fixed. Okay, closing scene is this poor baby, Sophia, young girl. She's hurting. She's mad at God. It shows his love, standing on this beautiful lake thing, and she takes off her cross that she wears around her neck, pulls it off, and throws it in the water. That's it. I'm done. I am done, as her mother says. That's the end of it. It was a great episode. I really enjoyed this series, and I'll talk to you next week.